Welcome to data visualization learning section. Today we are talking about cognitive load and clutter. Why are we talking about this cognitive load and clutter in this for this now data visualization? Because visually usable, clear to understand, and effective presentation is required to solve any problem. And once you have when you're presenting, when you have a less cognitive load, then it helps to understand the data being presented much easier. And the concept we learn in this section we will use in all the visualization we will design in later sections. That's why we need to learn about cognitive loads in this section. So let's begin. Let's understand what a cognitive load is. Beginning, cognitive load is the amount of mental effort required to interpret information. It's a simple term. It is the amount of mental effort required to interpret information. And we need to do everything we can to reduce, to minimize the cognitive load when we are presenting the information to the user. And that's why we need to design the data visualization in a similar manner or similar fashion to minimize the cognitive load. Now, there are three types of cognitive load that is widely accepted. One is intrinsic, second is extraneous, and third is germane. These are three types of cognitive load we'll come across in our daily life. So let's define what is intrinsic cognitive load is. Can anybody tell me what is intrinsic cognitive load? Let me tell you. It is the amount of memory we need to understand an idea. It is the amount of mental effort that is required to understand the idea. Or in other words, how hard it is to understand some subject matter. It is a base. It is a how hard a subject is in simple terms. How hard a subject is in simple terms. That's a intrinsic cognitive load. And secondly, what we have is what we have is many tasks in the world. Some require different. Some are really easy subjects, and some are hard subjects, and they require different amount of thought and attention. And that's what the intrinsic cognitive load is saying. Now, for example, let's say biochemistry. The subject is hard, so that it requires higher amount of cognitive load than some um, art class or drawing class. Now, we'll talk about extraneous cognitive load. Can somebody tell me what is extraneous cognitive load? Think about it. Let me tell you. It is the how hard is understanding information as the way it is being presented. That's what the extraneous cognitive load means. Like sometimes information can be presented in much simpler way, and other times information can be presented in complicated way, in hard to understand way. So that's what extraneous cognitive load comes into play. And to understand this thing, you need extra brain power. So when information is presented in a poor design fashion, then you are required to put much more effort to create a mental image of the information. And then you are providing this extraneous effort to understand information. This is called extraneous cognitive load. Now, lastly, what is the third one? German cognitive load. Can somebody tell me what German cognitive load is? Can somebody tell me that? Just think about it. All right. So now we have a German cognitive load is how hard it is to understand, really understand information. How hard we can remember the information for later use. That's what a German cognitive load is. Now, What we have is we talked about. So let me just let me just summarize what we learned today. We learned about three types of cognitive load. One is intrinsic cognitive load, which is the base difficulty of the subject matter. Some subject matter are really difficult and some are really easy. And extrinsic cognitive load is related pertains to the medium in which the information is communicated. For example, some information are really organized and present in a meaningful way, and some are present in a hard fashion way, in complicated way, and hard to understand. And third is German cognitive load, which is the way you remember the information. How hard is it? How hard you are making effort to remember the information? That's the German cognitive load. So that's all for today. I'll see you next learning session. Thank you so much.